long as you see the finesse, there's no problem with being finessed. However, I want you to understand one very crucial, crucial thing about life, especially if you're young. If you're young, your mind has not yet been warped. It's probably been warped a little bit, but not too far along that you cannot come back. You must understand almost everything in this world is trying to finish you. Almost every single thing is trying to take attention, time, energy, and resources out of you because that's what you're here to do. You're here to give what you can. However, there are those who use deceitful tactics to draw money, time, energy, attention from you without you realizing that's what they're doing. And those are the deceitful kinds. Those are the deceitful things. Just like I will never, ever go into a store and buy something on discount. I'll never. Because I understand the English language and I have logic and reasoning within my head. And because of that, I understand every single time that they say something is on discount, there's a reason for that. And it's either that discount price is the actual price of the good, and so the rest of the time they were actually overcharging, or that thing is about to expire and it's out of season, so they no more want it in the store. There's always a reason why they do things. People do not just move and act, even when they are not aware of their movements and their actions. A spirit is taking over, and this is why the best way to overcome this is to see the God within everything. Because what you must understand is that this planet belongs to God. And therefore, He is the artist. All of us are His art. And inevitably, we have the signature touch of the artist. Inevitably, it cannot be changed because we were created by the artist. And therefore, as the art, we become a part of the artist. We cannot be separated from it. And once you start to view life in this way, in the way that it actually is, at that point, you cannot be finessed because you'll see past each and every single finesse because you will take your time to make decisions, understanding that each and every single thing that you do requires the best of you. And therefore, you must remain in a state where you can always give your best. You must always remain alert. That's why those who end up going down the path of doing hard drugs come out of life with nothing to show or give because their time, energy, attention, and resource went to those drugs. It's not a problem to do the drugs, my friend. To be honest, it's not a problem to do them. It's just what it does to your life after you've taken the drug. That is the problem, what it leads to. And most of the time, drugs do not lead to death immediately, unless you've taken a bad batch, which is a risk and something that can happen. However, it's usually a gradual process over time, over years, decades. Someone will have an addiction to a very hard substance that consumes most of their time, energy, attention, and resources, and therefore everything else falls apart because they've now decided to focus on this one thing. And that is the big finesse. They decided to focus all their energy on one thing. That is exactly what all of us have been indoctrinated with. As long as you live in a Christian, Muslim, Jewish country, any country that has monotheism, within its society, you have been told to focus on this one thing and to neglect everything else because the government will do everything else for you. And therefore, inevitably, the government becomes your God. And that is the beginning of communism. And the stage we're in right now is just the beginning. Just go and watch any movie such as The Hunger Games, Divergent, and you'll see exactly where this is going because that is exactly what is happening. They are preparing your mind for what could possibly happen. Now, it has not all been set in stone. Nothing ever is. However, it is up to you to finally start taking note and care of everything within your life. And that is how you will avoid being finessed. Don't just go along and say, oh, let's just into the bus. Everyone is going into the bus. No. Sit down and think for yourself. Do I really want to get into the bus or not? And then from there, you make a decision that you will have to live with or die with. Because that's how deep this gets. That's how deep this gets. And this is how people end up losing their lives over petty, petty things instead of making it to the 4365. Sorry, the 4360 and going back to being a baby again. Because you go from a baby to a full abled person and then you lose those abilities once again to go back to being an old baby. And that is a beautiful end for a beautiful person. And the ugly end for the ugly person is because they got finessed. It's not even because they were a bad person. Most of the times it is. However, society has programmed you this way. And I don't know if it was purposeful, but I know that this programming came from ill intent. And because it carries that ill intent energy within it, inevitably, those who believe in it will suffer from that ill intent because it was not done in harmony with creation, but it was actually done against creation. And that is why you must take your time, analyze, digest, and make your own conclusions. Stay safe.